Drake Maye had arguably his best game as a pro against the Los Angeles Rams in Week 11, but it wasn't enough to overcome what's been ailing the New England Patriots all season long. Stick around. You're about to be locked in to the Locked On Patriots podcast.
You are Locked On Patriots, your daily New England Patriots podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello to all of you Foxborough faithful. Thank you once again for making Locked On Patriots a daily part of your New England Patriots coverage, and also hopefully your first listen each and every day. I'm your host, Mike Debate. I cover your New England Patriots for Patriots Country, so reach out to me, let me know what's on your mind on X at MDABATENFL. You can also find me where the skies are blue on Blue Sky at MDABATENFL.bsky.social. And if you're looking to send some love to Locked On Patriots social media style, our account is on X at LO_Patriots. And Pats fans, today's episode is brought to you by Hillsdale College. Go right now to hillsdale.edu/lockedon to enroll. There's no cost, and it's easy to get started. Pats fans, all the hope and promise heading into Week 11 unfortunately did not end the way we all wanted to. Drake Maye completing 30 of 40 passes, 282 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, but at the same time, looking like the quarterback everyone hoped he would be. Unfortunately, defensive breakdowns, undisciplined play, poor clock management. Need I go on, folks? Yeah, we're going to go on, and we're going to go on an awful lot because all of those were the culprits, resulting in a 28-22 loss for the New England Patriots at Gillette Stadium on Sunday. And of course, it drops the Patriots to 3-8 on the season. Unfortunately, folks, monster keys were not turned on Sunday. As I always say, you turn the keys, you go to the top. You don't turn the keys, you're never heard from again. And here today to help us figure out why the Patriots did not turn those keys is the very man that cuts them each and every week. My good friend, the legend himself, Thomas Murphy. Thank you for coming to me in friendship today on this melancholy Monday, Don Murphy.
Thanks, I guess.
I get it.
Mike mentioned at the top that Drake Maye had maybe his best game as a Patriot. No, sorry, no.
Okay.
It's 2 losses in 2 weeks that it ended on attempts to come back at the end of the game and get a win, and it ended on a Drake Maye interception. Once again, not taking care of the ball inside your own red zone. Okay, putting the ball on the carpet. Not good, Drake. You know, it's not a loaf of bread. Hang on to that and get it home to mom so she can make some French toast. All right. I'm not. Drake Maye gets a down thumb from me on this game. I didn't think he grasped the football, and 2, the power that he has in his hands to completely change a game. We're talking about not turning monster keys. Win the turnover battle, and Drake Maye lost the turnover battle for the Patriots this week.
No, and we're definitely going to get into Drake Maye's performance, whether there was more good than bad, which I happen to believe there was more good than bad. You know what? Murph and I seldom disagree, but when we do, sometimes it makes for good theater. So stick around. You're not going to want to miss this. But Murph, one thing I think we are in agreement on is this Patriots defense coming into this game. They knew they were going to have a difficult time facing a high-octane offense like the Los Angeles Rams. Maybe they don't have exactly all of the star power around them that they used to have, but this team is still very adept at being able to make you pay in multiple ways. They have a solid running game. They have pass catchers that can obviously take it to the house. They're not only capable of making plays in the field, they're also adept blockers. This was not an easy draw for the New England Patriots, but you need a solid game plan when you're playing a team like this and you're hoping to contain several weapons that could potentially give you problems. Obviously, what everybody is upset about right now is Christian Gonzalez being placed on the boundary and exclusively placed on the boundary. He did not shadow Cooper Kupp, did not shadow Puka Nacua. In the end, both Kupp and Nacua combined for 229 receiving yards, 3 touchdowns. Murph, I think it's obvious the Patriots made the mistake here in doing that. But to me, the more egregious sin is not the game plan itself, but not adjusting when they saw it wasn't working.
Exactly. Just because the key doesn't fit doesn't mean that you go ahead and submit. Okay. It was a terrible plan to come in. I mentioned on Friday that Matt Stafford is no rookie.
Mm-hmm.
You think he didn't see Del Pettis, an undrafted rookie free agent, on Cooper Cup?
Mm-hmm.
Come on. All right. What are you people doing?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I can understand doing this against the Bears, okay, who have three wideouts that you need to worry about, and putting Gonzalez out on the boundary. It worked out. It did. But so did your pass rush.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So did the pressure rate. Okay. That did not happen yesterday. All right. So uh, putting Gonzalez out there on the boundary, I don't even know who the guy he was covering, and not having him on Cooper Cup or on Puka Nakua. He should have been shadowing one of them. I said last week, I wrote it in my keys, have him on the X. The X receiver, meaning your number one receiver. Have him on the number one receiver and bracket. Where were the brackets on the other player? It wasn't. It was just straight up man to man. They mixed in some zone. What? Why? Why you guys can't play zone? Every
Mm-hmm.
time you try to go to zone, somebody's looking over their shoulder, looking for safety help that's not there. Okay, it was terrible. They should have shifted from this at the beginning. Another thing that we need to talk about is the fact that there was no pressure. There was
Mm-hmm.
absolutely no pressure. This
That's
Rams
true.
offensive line was completely banged up. Just the way the page, and they couldn't get to the quarterback. All right, let's switch it up. Okay, let's switch it up. Christian Barmore being back, that was a fantastic thing. It was great to see him out there,
Mm-hmm.
but he didn't
Absolutely.
really he didn't really change the game. I said in my keys that I didn't expect to see him this week, meaning yesterday or next week, because you've got to play yourself back into shape. Okay,
Exactly.
there's in shape and then there's football shape, and you could tell that young man was not in football shape yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at someone that has yet to take a meaningful snap, even in a
Right,
practice setting this season. So to have the expectation of Christian to be able to come in and be the Christian of old and command the double team the way he did years past, and be able to free up guys like Keon White or Yannick Ngakoue to allow him to be able to do what he does was really, I think, a very big ask. And I don't, for all intents and purposes, I don't think the Patriots were expecting that from him, but maybe they were expecting a little bit more,
right.
putting him in the lineup. Bottom line, it's just great to see Christian back out there. You hear
It
him
is.
speak about the difficulties that he had in coming back, and really how scared he was
Right.
with this, and rightfully so. For him to be back on a football field this season is definitely a win, folks, and I think we're both, in agreement on that. Bottom line, Murph, I think what you outlined about Matthew Stafford to me is really the crux of what
Yeah.
went wrong yesterday for the New England Patriots.
The veteran quarterback against rookie play callers.
Exactly. And you're also blitzing him 17
Oh my
times.
God.
This is a 16-year veteran that's
Right.
been to the puppet show and seen the strings, to quote Rod Tidwell.
You
He's
call
done it.
you call an all-out blitz on the second play of the second half. All right? And you're sitting there and John Jones covering Cup.
Yeah,
What do you think he's going to do?
exactly.
What do you think he's
Exactly.
going to do?
He's waiting for John to overcompensate. That's
Yep.
exactly what Jonathan Jones did. You can't blame him in that situation. It's
No.
a mismatch. And you look at Stafford now, and Stafford all of a sudden is saying, "Are you kidding me?" He's looking at this coverage and he's going, I've been in this. You're going to give me that kind of a
Yeah.
clean pocket?
That's
I've been in
putting a
this league
bone-in
16 years.
ribeye right in front of me and saying,
Exactly.
what are you going to do, Murph?
Yeah, it is no surprise that went the distance, 69 yards, and
Yep.
essentially that broke the back of the New
And
England
I don't
Patriots.
want to hear it, Gerard Mayo. I don't. I don't want
Mhm.
to hear it. I don't want to hear that. Well, it was only one play here, and it was only one play. Those plays happen.
Yeah.
Okay, just like when you're complaining about during the Miami game, about the runs that were broken off. It
Mhm.
was only one play. It was only
Mhm.
one 45-yard play. It was only one 69-yard play. They happen.
Yeah.
Okay, and
Exactly.
your answer to Doug Kyde in the press room afterwards when he asked you what are you doing is unacceptable. It's just one play.
Mm.
Just one
Well,
play. Those plays happen, and that's why you
exactly.
lost.
Well, here's what bothers me about that one play, Murph,
Go ahead.
because you look at what the Patriots did against the Chicago Bears last week. I think they saw that, looked at it, said, hey, you know what? This is working a little bit. I don't think we should change it. I think they were afraid to change it against the Rams. But here's the thing about LA's offense. You can't play cover zero man coverage on
Right.
them. They're impervious to it.
Mm-mm.
Not a good strategy against
No.
this team, folks. They use too much motion for the defense to be able to handle. They have great blockers at the wide receiver position.
Right.
So when you have those two, plus when you condense and you shrink your formations a little bit, it's very difficult for any team to be able to defend it, let alone a New England Patriots team that's looking to find its identity. So whether Gonzo was on Kupp or Nakua, he wasn't on either one, by the way,
No.
on that
Wasn't
play,
either
folks.
one.
That was a doom drive from the moment the ball was snapped. That's how I'm looking at it. I just don't think this team was prepared for what Sean McVay could do on the opposite side, adjusting, making the reads that he needed to, looking at what the Patriots did in the first half against this team.
Yeah.
Just a real head scratcher, folks. And again, Murph and I are a little more animated than we usually are on a Monday.
Because this is the third loss. This is the
Yeah.
third loss that I'm hanging on the coaching staff.
Mm.
All right, because they can't adjust, they can't put together a game plan that is defensively sound. All right, and they can't adjust.
Mm.
They refuse to adjust,
Yeah.
and I'm ticked.
Yeah, I don't blame you. And the real hurtful thing about all of this is that was a very winnable game for the New England
Yep.
Patriots against a team that is very good in all three phases, folks. Los Angeles Rams, despite their now 5-5 record, entering this one at a 4-5 record.
Yep.
That's a very talented team. The New England Patriots would have been in very good position in terms of their own confidence level to be able to notch a win, especially at home against a tough Rams team. But it clearly was not all sunshine and rainbows for the New England Patriots. Defensively, a lot of breakdowns, a lot of questionable decisions, as you heard here today. But Murph and I are going to switch gears here, and we're going to differ in our opinions a little bit. I opened the show today to say that I believe Drake had his best game as a pro. That doesn't mean I believe he was perfect, but I do think that he showed more good than harm. Murph may argue the contrary, or he may not. I'm not going to place words in his mouth. We're going to talk about the performance of one young Drake Maye and whether or not this is a building block for things moving forward. All this and more as we continue to break down the Patriots' 28-22 loss to the Los Angeles Rams. And this episode of the Locked On Patriots podcast continues, a proud part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Locked On listeners, time is our most precious commodity, so don't waste it scrolling through the same mind-numbing content for hours and hours. How can you spend it wisely to improve yourself? Well, our sponsor, Hillsdale College, is offering more than 40 free, that's right, free online courses, including Constitution 101, the meaning and the history of the U.S. Constitution, Introduction to Free Market Economics, The Great American Story, A Land of Hope, and a brand new documentary-style course on Marxism, socialism, and communism. And all of Hillsdale's courses are self-paced so that you can start whenever and tune in wherever. Plus, you can go deeper with readings, quizzes, discussions, or just enjoy the lectures. Go right now to hillsdale.edu/lockedon to enroll. There's no cost, and it's easy to get started. Don't delay, do it today. That's hillsdale.edu/lockedon to register. hillsdale.edu/lockedon. Listen up, Locked On listeners. When it comes to daily fantasy sports, Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least two players for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. And what I love most about Prize Picks is that it puts its members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When my picks hit, I can get my money in as quick as 15 minutes. And when you sign up today, you get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your sports opinions into real money all season long on Prize Picks. Download the app today and use the code LOCKEDONNFL to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup when downloading the app today and using the code LOCKEDONNFL. Prize Picks. Run your game. Patriots fans, thank you once again for joining us here today on Locked On Patriots as we continue to wallow in the mire of the New England Patriots 28-22 loss to the Los Angeles Rams on Sunday at Gillette Stadium. That's falling to 3-8, and a lot of questions surrounding this coaching staff, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Our good friend Thomas Murphy is pretty steamed that his monster keys to victory were not turned. A couple of them were, however, on the offensive side of the ball, just not enough, and one egregious mistake at the end of the game may have cost the Patriots what could have been a winnable game. Murph, in the previous segment, we talked about the defense. We lamented a lot of the decisions that were made and the difficulties the Patriots had as a result. But one thing that we are split on right now, and that some of the fan base is split on right now, is the performance of Drake Maye in this one. I opened the show today by saying I think Drake had his best game as a pro.
Yep.
Set season highs in passing yards with 282, 30 completions, and a drop back success rate, which I thought was impressive, 63%. That's according to our good friends over at Patriots Media Relations. They did a good job of pulling that one for me last night. His decision making, his ability to read coverages, I thought was very good for the most part. You looked at this, I think, with maybe more of an objective point of view rather than a silver linings point of view, which I'll fully admit I'm trying to look at this game with. You talked about ball protection, and it's paramount for a quarterback to have that skill.
Especially there.
Exactly. When you look at this performance from Drake Maye, what makes you believe that this wasn't his best performance, and how much blame pie does he deserve for this loss?
Well, he deserves at least, 25%, 30% of the blame for this loss. 2 turnovers that, one ending the game and one giving the Rams a free 7 points, in on the next play. But I was impressed with his presence in the pocket once again. I was impressed with what he was able to do off script and when he extended plays. There were some really nice throws that he had off script, and that was great. But still, I mean, you have got to take care of that ball. All right, you cannot put the ball on the carpet there. He's got to learn from these things and not do them again. And this is, 2 really bad days of taking care of the football in the last 3 weeks.
I definitely understand where you're coming from. I have no argument in terms of ball protection needing to be better, especially in crunch time, especially in that moment. You're in a winnable situation in that moment when he throws the interception. So it's not like you're heaving it down the field just to see what happens.
Long.
Try to
go long. Miss long. And I don't want to hear that, I thought he was going to sit down. You saw the play. Okay, he was already past the DB when you threw the ball. All right, and you were short. You came up short, and that's what ended this game. If you had hit him, if you had missed him long, we're still playing football.
Yeah.
All right. If you'd hit him, there you go. That was a touchdown.
Yeah. Absolutely. And again, to Drake's credit, and I do want to give him credit for taking the post-game podium and admitting such.
Sure.
He let everyone know that this wasn't something that he wanted to hang on the shoulders of Pop Douglas. The first time I watched this, the first thing I'm thinking of is Drake is expecting him to turn, and he's just not turning. But when he explained it afterwards and said that he's going to tell Pop that he may put it on him as opposed to actually like airing it out and letting it rip, that really let me know that, this is a communication thing. These two guys need to get on the same page. They need to be better equipped for moments like this. Again, Drake is a rookie. He's going to have these moments, folks. Pop is still a second-year receiver, so he's going to have these moments. And again, I think he's really adapting to a quarterback that he trusts for the first time. and I'm sorry to say that, no disrespect to Mac Jones or Bailey Zappi, but I don't think Demario Douglas had the same level of confidence in them that he has in Drake Maye. So now you're looking at a situation where he must be on the same page as arguably his top receiver. I think you're seeing Demario Douglas emerge into that role. Yeah, if there's a knock on Drake Maye in that situation, I can't argue with you for knocking him for that.
No. Yeah, thank you. All right, I appreciate that a great deal.
Although I do want to give some credit to Alex Van Pelt. I thought he had a better strategy this week. I thought he unleashed a couple of packages I've been waiting to see. You've been waiting to see Marcus Jones get in on this offense. I loved seeing that. 19 offensive snaps in his first 2 seasons. Patriots ran 2 plays with him yesterday that gained 14 yards. Not groundbreaking, but stuff that you can build upon.
No, on the downside of that, just too conservative in the red zone. All right. You know, when you are packing it in the red zone and running Ramondre up between the tackles right into, right off center, trying to get that last yard time and again, it's time to do something different. I would have liked to have seen Alex Van Pelt, spread it out completely. Go empty backfield. Maybe put a tight end back there or something and give Drake an opportunity to flip a burger or two.
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
Open up a hole. I see something, or at least get Ramondre off. Let him stretch it out to one side or the other, just to slam him up there. I thought the play calling inside the 20 when we're settling for field goals, another key not turned. Okay. Own the red zone, and the Patriots didn't do that.
Yeah, exactly. No, very good point. And again, this kid can handle it when he's able to get into the red zone and make those moves. He can handle it. So keep dialing those up. And the reason I keep coming back to this being one of Drake's better performances, and in my opinion, his best performance as a pro, is the touchdown pass to Kendrick Bourne. That's a 9-yard short route. To me, that shows everything and showcases all of Drake's ability to be able to manage the short field, which is something that we've knocked him for. A lot of critics have knocked him for his days at North Carolina. He can throw the deep ball. Everybody knows that, but he can't navigate the short area of the field. When he's capable and he's called up and dialed up correctly, you get that. The 2 short zone defenders on the side of the field, immediately Drake picks up on that passing window. He sees Kendrick Bourne, hits him in stride. That's Kendrick's first score of the season, and all of a sudden the New England Patriots are in business.
You give May the opportunity. He did it last week with Polk. Where was Polk this week? No targets. Sorry, I'm just livid today.
And from what you're hearing from Murph and I, folks, it doesn't sound like there's an awful lot to be happy about. It doesn't sound like there's an awful lot of silver linings. Murph and I are going to try to pluck some silver linings out of what was a dismal end to what started as a promising day in Foxborough on Sunday. Murph and I are going to try to do so in just a moment when this episode of the Locked On Patriots podcast wraps up right here on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Locked On listeners, get ready to tackle NFL action with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Because right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if you win. The FanDuel Sportsbook app gives you everything you need to place live bets on the NFL all in one place. So when you get a hunch in the middle of the game, you can check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more on the same page where you place your bets. Let your New England fandom work for you by visiting FanDuel.com to join today. You'll get started with $150 in bonus bets if you win with your first $5 bet. That's FanDuel.com. Never waste a hunch and make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. Patriots fans, thank you once again for joining us here today on Locked On Patriots. We are breaking down the Patriots' 28-22 loss to the Los Angeles Rams. Patriots falling to 3-8 on the season, and questions abound on defense, even on offense. Murph and I actually spent an entire segment disagreeing, folks. So, you know what? Dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria going on here in Locked On Patriots land. But bottom line, we will continue to cover this one and break this one down as best as possible. And despite our disagreements, I am always honored, always privileged, and always humbled to be joined by my good friend, the kind of Murphy Fisto himself, the legendary Thomas Murphy. Murph, in the previous segments, we've talked about defense, we've talked about offense, but if we're going to try to build on a loss, this is a tough one to build on, but you know us, we're always going to try to dig for every possibility that we can find to find even the shred of positivity. When you look at this game, first of all, was there anything that stood out to you that made you smile that we haven't talked about yet here today? During low and touchdown. Sorry, folks, a
Yeah.
I got a little chest cold
Yeah.
going, but
Come on.
I really want them to wax poetically on this stuff, folks. I just can't wait to do it. But bottom line, were there any other silver linings that you can pluck from this loss for the Patriots
Yeah.
on Sunday?
Vidarian Lowe's touchdown, Kes. You need 6. Give it to a big round guy. But I mean, come on. I don't know what the Rams were thinking about that. You've got a tackle that ends up declaring himself as eligible and not just in there on a jumbo package deal, and you don't cover him. You get what you deserve. But they ended up with the win. One of the things that I liked in this game was, and this will make Claire happy, was Hunter Henry. Henry made 6 catches, 63 yards. He
Right.
converted 2 third downs, another 2 to convert. To another 2 of his pass catches, grabbed another set of first downs. Um, he had one third down conversion wiped out by an illegal formation. Hello,
Mm,
hello, come on. Um, so that that kind of evens everything out for Vidarian Lowe. But Henry needs to keep being doing what he's doing, being the reliable veteran in there and a safety valve for Drake Maye. I thought he was great, and of course, we talked earlier about Christian Barmore. It was great to just see Christian out there. He only played 21 snaps, but again, he was not in football shape. It's going to take some time, folks. It's really going to take some time, and there were just too many keys not turned this week for me to get too happy about anybody else. Kendrick Bourne is the consummate professional. He took last week's benching to heart and came back really
mm.
strong this week. He had a fantastic game, and tip of the cap to him.
Definitely. Kendrick, I thought, came out and responded the way you would hope that
Yeah,
someone responds to a situation like he was put in Chicago 2 weeks ago. This guy is an emotional leader on this team. He's a spiritual
yep,
leader on this
yeah,
team, and he's a leader in the way he plays on the field. And I think that to get that from a veteran and to see a veteran have difficulty, but that come back and be able to have a positive impact was a silver lining. So I completely agree with you there. Obviously, the big silver lining was Christian Barmore being
yep.
back out on the field. We'll continue to see him work his way back into game shape, but just having him back out there and knowing he's fully healthy, that is all the silver lining I think that we need right now. Murph, before we take our leave of this game, something that may or may not have had an impact on the outcome of this game, but I did want to get your opinion on it because we haven't had a chance to weigh in on it. When we recorded the weekend episode on Friday
Yeah,
night, Tyquan Thornton was still a member of
yeah,
this New England Patriots team. Murph, you and I have been defenders of Tyquan. You have
yep.
nicknamed him the Slim Reaper. But bottom line, he is no longer a member of
No.
this team. What was your reaction to Tyquan being waived? And was it the right move for the Patriots or the only move they can make with him?
Um, I don't think it was the right move. I
Mm,
think that he's been hampered by injuries and poor coaching over his entire career here. Um, Tyquan Thornton had a better rookie season than Jalen Polk is having right now.
mm,
Yes, people were expecting more because he was overdrafted just a little bit,
but,
a little bit,
but,
and expected a lot more out of him. I don't think that he was used properly here.
mm,
I thought that finally he had a quarterback that was going to be able to use him in the right way.
mm,
Alex Van Pelt continued not to use him in the right way. If you go back and you watch game film of him in college, he wasn't just a straight burner. He was a
mm.
guy that was used over the middle. He was a guy that was used in slants and whatnot. I was happy with the draft pick. Not thrilled, but happy with it. I think he's going to catch on somewhere, probably the Raiders, and
Mm,
end up having a good career.
mm,
So yeah, best wishes to Tyquan Thornton. I thought you got dealt the short end of the stick being here, and having to deal with the coaches that you were you were given, or that were given you to work with and didn't know what to do with you. You had injury issues early in your career, and they weren't ticky tack injuries. They were
mm.
things that would keep any ball player off a field. So yeah, I'm a little bit upset, and I think there are other guys that could have been cut and given him a chance to play out his rookie contract, because it's still a cheap rookie contract.
Absolutely, yeah, and one of them being in a healthy scratch on
Yeah.
Sunday in KJ Osborne. A lot of people are surprised that he's still a member of this team. I fully expected that he would be moved during the trade deadline or
Yep.
possibly even cut loose, giving the veteran an opportunity to catch on elsewhere because KJ's a talented receiver. I just don't think it's a good fit here in New England.
No.
And Tyquan, in theory, was brought in to thrive in an outside zone
Right.
offense. Cole Strange was drafted as the zone blocker.
Thank
You
you.
have Pierre Strong coming in as the outside
Uh,
zone runner.
Thank
This
you.
is what Bill Belichick and Matt Patricia were trying to build. They didn't have the personnel. I don't think that Patricia was prepared to coach it, but at the
Mm-mm.
same time, this is what they were looking to do. This is what we were sold from
Yep.
this coaching staff. Alex Van Pelt is a master of the outside zone, and he can incorporate it. You and I had high hopes for Taekwon this year, and who
I
knows if
did. I
it
thought it
does
was the
indeed.
year of the Slim Reaper, and it
Yeah,
just it just did not happen. It just did
exactly.
not happen. He definitely wasn't thrown open while he was here. There was no trust from the quarterbacks, whichever quarterback was under center,
Hmm.
to go to him in coverage and see if he could fight for things. Maybe it wasn't deserved, but I really do. I think that Tyquan Thornton got the short end of the stick.
And who knows? Stranger things have happened. As Murph and I are recording this on Monday morning, we haven't seen the waiver wire yet. If
No,
Taekwon hasn't been claimed, who knows? Maybe he's back here on the practice squad. Stranger things have happened. I don't think it'll happen,
no.
but bottom line, it is still a possibility, folks. But one thing that is always a certainty is that Murph is going to bring his opinions. He's going to bring the noise, and he brought the pain today here on Locked On Patriots, and I don't blame him for
Yeah,
any of it. My friend, thank you so much for joining me, lending me not only your wisdom and counsel, but the monster keys that you carry in
yeah,
your pocket like so many nickels and dimes. They should have been turned. Had they been turned, we'd have a victory Monday here in New England. But unfortunately, we will continue to break down a 28-22 loss to the Los Angeles Rams as your 3-8 Patriots now gear up for a trip down south to face the Miami Dolphins in Week 12. Yeah, we're not quite done
hate
with the Rams
Miami.
just yet, but this is going to be an interesting and exciting week here on Locked On Patriots. So stick around. You will not want to miss a single second of the action. In the meantime, on behalf of the legendary Thomas Murphy, who you can check out on Twitter at TeamMurph207. You can check him out on Blue Skies now
Yeah,
at
shop.
TeamMurph207.bsky.social. And of course, anytime the man puts pen to paper, it's for diehardbostonsportsfans.com. Check out all of his great work. New England Patriots, Boston Red Sox, Boston Celtics, whatever's on the man's mind, he will inform you and entertain you. I'm Mike Debate, and then on behalf of my good friend Thomas Murphy, we all encourage you to stay safe, to stay well, to be the change you wish to see in the world. Have a great day, everyone, and we'll see you back here again tomorrow on Locked On Patriots.